13. So question 13, right? Yeah, I have it. I'm just scrolling down, sorry. Okay. Yeah, they said pursuing economic growth at the expense of the environment has resulted in pollution, climate change, and overconsumption of natural resources. Evaluate the cost of economic growth. Refer to a country of your choice in your answer. So, first, what is economic growth? Economic growth implies an increase in the country's GDP or output. So, the following are the impact of economic growth to a country on a country such as Nigeria. That's my country, though. So, environmental impact. So, let's talk about environmental impact first. An increase in economic growth is likely to lead to an increase in carbon emission through congestion and the use of plants, equipment. An increase in economic growth may mean that the resources of a country may be used up, leading to unsustainable development. So, an increase in economic growth might mean that resources in Nigeria are used up. And if they are used up, that brings about unsustainable development. An increase in economic growth might mean that a lot of firms in Nigeria are producing more output. And as a result of that, it might lead to congestion and carbon emission, which might lead to, congestion and carbon emission. However, economic growth might be as a result of the use of renewable resources. So if there's economic growth in Nigeria and they're not even using resources, they are using renewable resources such as wind, solar panels. So this means there's still going to be sustainable development. I think the point is clear. An increase in economic growth, because I talked about the first two, then I talked about the second two, the positivity now. An increase in economic growth may allow firms to invest in advanced technology. And if firms are able to invest in advanced technology, that means there's not going to be pollution. So, do you understand the point here? Because I talked about increase the economic growth, which brings about pollution. But if firms, because the economy is growing, firms are able to invest in the latest technology, that would bring about reduced pollution. I think environment is clear. So the second point is about inflation. Are you there? The second point is about inflation. Economic growth may lead to inflation. When we talk about inflation, the persistent rise in the price of goods and services over a period of time, right? So here I wrote, economic growth may lead to inflation. With increasing economic growth, demand is likely to increase as income level is expected to rise. This will bring about producers responding towards increasing output. As a result, may have to employ more workers. But because based on the fact that firms might want to employ more workers, but the economy is growing, that means we have reduced unemployment rate, or probably even a full employment situation. So that means the demand for labor is more than the supply of labor. So if the demand for labor is more than supply of labor, the wage rate is expected to rise. So if the wage rate is increasing, the cost of production for firms would have to rise. As a result of that, it will bring about cost push inflation. That's the inflation I'm talking about here. Do you get it or not, please? So an increase in wage rate will bring about increasing cost of production, which is cost push inflation. However, the economy may have unemployed resources. Maybe the economy is not even reaching its full potential yet. Note, it is not necessary that the economy reach its full potential before the economic growth. That's what we call the rate of growth. Do you understand? So if the economy is still not in its full potential, it means the supply of labor will exceed the demand for labor, which is likely to reduce the cost of the cost of wages for firms. So there might not be inflation. Do you understand the point there? So the third point here is about balance of trade deficit. An increase in economic growth means disposable income is expected to rise. And if disposable income increases, it means part of the disposable income will be spent on importation. So this may worsen the balance of payment current account because import is expected to be more than export. Firms, another point about import and export is that firms, due to increasing demand for goods, may import raw materials and components. Because the demand for goods and services is increasing in the economy. The economy of Nigeria might not have that resources available. Firms in Nigeria might have to import raw materials. Importing raw materials increases importation. So that will bring about a deficit in the balance of payments. Do you get it? However, economic growth may have resulted in the production of quality products, which may lead to export increasing more than imports. So there might be economic growth in Nigeria because the quality of products produced in Nigeria is higher. So which simply means more export will still be done than imports. So there might not be balance of payments current account deficit. Also, economic growth may allow more investment in capital goods, which may result in greater efficiency. As a result, exports become more competitive. How is export becoming more competitive here? Because if the economy is able to invest in capital goods like technology, prices of goods and services would fall, and that would make them to be more internationally competitive, which simply means export will exceed imports, and that will bring about, so that means we might not see balance of payment deficit. So that ends, yeah, we did that. That ends paper 2, May 2022. Thank you.